I appreciate y'all being here today. Thank you for coming. We'll recap this past weekend against Houston Baptist and then kind of look forward towards Abilene Christian this coming week. Homecoming this past week, great atmosphere. The Lion Walk and the parade, we got involved. We caught it out by the street, and it came all the way through Friendship Circle. They had to be 10, 12 deep. It looked like a Mardi Gras parade. It was really awesome. Thought our fans did a great job. The atmosphere was outstanding. The different groups and the people, the response was it was humbling for us, the football team, to be able to go through there and see all the things that were taking place and the support. And I know our guys fed off of it. The game itself was really one I hadn't been a part of before. I talked to Vic Shealy, the head coach at HBU, after the game, and I've been doing it 36 years. He's been doing it 33, and we've just both looked at each other and shook our heads and said we've never seen one like this. And it was exciting. There were a lot of big plays both ways for both teams. We were fortunate enough we came out with a win, and that's the most important thing. We got a lot to grow on. We accomplished a lot. We got some things we got to correct. We got to get better at, just like we do every week. So we approach it the same way. That's not going to change. Win or lose, we're going to approach the thing the same way, is that we're going to start getting better. We've got to continue to work on the things that we're deficient at and do a better job and enhance the things that we did do well. We had the positives in the game. Obviously, we had some big plays, especially on defense, 3 defensive touchdowns, which is, guys making plays, being in the right spot, making plays, getting turnovers, and that's what we've been lacking. So there's been a big emphasis. We've had turnover circuits since camp, and they're starting to pay off for us. And we talk about it. Sometimes turnovers come in bunches, and when they start coming, it's just it's infectious. And it happened the other night. So Zeke had the touchdown early, Trey Span had a pick 6, and then John Miller had the sack, strip fumble, and Xavier picked it up and ran it in to seal it at the end of the game. So that was exciting. We were able to run the ball better. We focused on the run, played more physical up front. And so we did a better job of running the football. The numbers showed that, but also, our ability to convert some stuff and keep drives alive, running the football. We didn't have to rely so much on throwing the ball. So when you're able to do that, even though they were loading the box, we were able to do that, which is a big plus for us. It's a big plus for any program to be able to do that. Obviously, offensively, the 2 big turnovers for touchdowns against them was, those are mistakes that we've continually made, and we got to stop making them. And, we had a fumble that got returned for a touchdown, and he didn't get any more carries. Did a great job returning. He bounced back, returned that kickoff at the end of the game, and got us all the way down to the 23-yard line. That was huge for Devontae. But, we're just not going to be able to do that. We can't trust guys with the ball in their hands if they're not going to take care of it. And then the same thing with the interception. It's just a bad read. We got to do a better job of that. He's got to do a better job of understanding what he's looking at and coverage recognition, things like that. We gave up some big plays. We talked last week about Houston Baptist, how their tempo was faster than anybody else we had played all year long, and it showed during the course of the game. And they got some big plays because of it. We weren't ready at times. I thought we handled it early. Later on in the game, we did a poor job. Fatigue set in, and when fatigue sets in, then mentally and physically, you have a tendency to lapse, and that's what we did. And we gave up some big plays because of it, in the run game and in the pass game, in coverage situations. So when those big plays happen, it's not because of a scheme or anything else. It's usually a breakdown in the scheme. So whether you point fingers or whatever it is, you got to look at what the truth is. And the truth is that we didn't do the things that we needed to do to make sure the big plays didn't happen. We got to keep everything in front of us from that standpoint. And, I think our kicking game was solid. We did the return yardage wasn't there as much, but because of what we did back there, they squibbed everything, so we were getting great field position. Our average starting field position this week was 36-yard line, the minus 36. Well, when you can start every drive on the 36-yard line, you're going to have some success offensively, and that was good. So when we're able to do those things, or when teams are really don't want to kick it deep because Jawan's back there, that's going to give us great field position, which is what we want. So we'll take it either way we can get it. I know Jonathan was disappointed. He missed the field goal early, but he did nail one later on, and it was perfect on all the extra points, which was good. Ivy punted the ball well. So overall, a great team win. The resiliency our team showed was important because we had every opportunity to tank it, and we didn't. And we say all the time that if we just play till the end, we have a chance to win. And we did, and we had a chance, and we took advantage of it. We've played a couple of these games so far this year, and we didn't win. We didn't come out on the scoreboard. And I don't want that point to be lost, that it's important for us to win the games. When we play this, we play hard, and we don't win the game, it's very disappointing. And there's work to be done, and we've got to correct some mistakes. We played this hard, and we won the game. We still got things to correct. We still got mistakes we got to overcome. We still got things that we got to do every day at practice. But we won the game, and we're not going to pass that point off. Wins are hard to get, so we're excited about that point. This week against ACU, these guys are coming off a huge win over Nichols. They're a good football team. You know, I'm kind of disillusioned a little bit. Like I said, I've never been through the conference, and for me to hear people talk about how certain programs are, you know, the bottom of the barrel and things like that. I haven't seen it. I don't know where those teams are. I haven't seen them yet. I see, a good Abilene Christian team. I watch them on film. I watch what they did against Nicholls State, who's a top 20 team in the country, and watch how they handled those guys this past weekend. I watched them a couple of weeks ago when they played McNeese and barely lost that one, 24-21. So we're seeing a team who's coming into its own. They got good players. They got a good scheme. They're well coached. So when you look at those things, there's nobody easy that you look at and you say, we just throw your hat out there and you're going to win. That's not the case. These guys are coming off a big win, and they're going to have an opportunity to come into here, and they're going to look forward to knocking us off. We got to do a great job of preparing for them. They're going to do some things different. Offensively, there'll be a little more 10 and 11 personnel, more 11 and 12 personnel, using the tight end most of the time, and they'll be in some bunch formations. So they do a lot more stuff as far as less air raid opportunities, I guess you could say. The way there's more of a horizontal passing game with a lot of crossers instead of the bubbles and hitches and things that we saw this past week. And then defensively, I know they had the player of the week in the conference, the Chambers kid at linebacker. Does a good job. He's a downhill player, physical player. We got to account for him just like we did against the linebacker this past week from HBU. So it'll be a great challenge for us. It'll be another great atmosphere. The home field advantage is important to us. We need to have that. It does spark our guys. We got to get some consistency to all 60 minutes, playing focused. But what we did do is we played hard for 60 minutes, and we'll continue to do that. There's no predictions on the scoreboard, but I will predict that we're going to play hard with the 11 guys that we got on the field. So we'll continue to do that. But with that, it's great to again, coming off a win. Always good. Be back at home again. That's always good, and that's a big positive for us. So we had a good day yesterday. The players are off today, and we look forward to practice tomorrow. So with that, I'll take some questions.
Frank, just to get injuries out of the way, Austin Mitchell didn't play.
Right.
Out with an ankle injury.
Right. So he'll probably game time this week. We worked him out before the game on Saturday to see if he could go. Just wasn't ready to go yet, so we held him out. He wasn't going to give us anything that we didn't already have, so we held him out. This week will be a game time decision for him.
And what about Juwan?
Same thing. Yeah, we just held him out. You got to be able to play consistently hard for 60 minutes, and if you can't do that, your place on the field is somebody's willing to do it. So we had some guys step in and do a nice job at those spots. So, Jake catching a touchdown pass at the corner of the end zone, heck of a catch and throw. I mean, you really don't realize how good that is until you go back and look at it on film and say, wow, the accuracy of the throw, but also the adjustment to the ball that Jake was able to do, creating separation, because the coverage was really pretty good. But for him to go up and go get that ball and keep his feet in bounds it was pretty good. That was a heck of a play. So you got to be able to play hard for 60 minutes. If you do that, you can stay on the field. If you can't, you got to come off.
Did Juwan come into the game hurt? Was he?
Not really. No, not really. Yeah. For the most part.
Coach, thoughts on Julius Marcelin and his first game back?
Yeah, it's good to get him back. 2 weeks ago he practiced. I guess most of the week. Kind of struggled towards the end. Last week had a good week of practice, and that's kind of what I've been told was gonna happen. He'll get the ball out there. He'll run hard and things like that. And he did. He played physical. Yeah, I think he brought some physicality to our run game. I think DJ did that also. But Juice being able to be out there and doing that, you You could feel it on the sidelines. I thought they were booing at first when he went in the game, but they were yelling "Jews, Jews." So he's a well-liked, well-respected person, and he's been like that for this. He's done great things for this program. He's starting to come in his own and get in shape and get healthy, where he's able to do some of the things that you saw the other night. When you go back and look at it again, you see guys bouncing off of him, so that shows you his strength, physicality he's bringing to the run game. So that's good to see. So this week will be another important week for him. I know he was sore after the game. This week will be an important week for him, from practice situation, to see how it rolls out into Saturday.
Frank, you mentioned that y'all have been trying to run the ball better all year, and it's just now starting to happen for you. What are some of the issues that y'all have been having to get that to?
The biggest issue in the run game is the communication and lack of physicality up front. So we're doing a better job of communicating up front, making sure we got the right, schematically got the right hats on hats. And then the physicality, we just got to play more physical and push the line of scrimmage. I know the philosophically it was more of an east-west running game in the past. Now we're a little more downhill. So we want to be more physical at the line of scrimmage and take the line of scrimmage, and then run the ball when we want to. There's going to be some times we don't have a great-looking box to run it into, so the back now has to handle the safety. Well, we saw that the other night on Darren's long run, very well blocked. Pat Allen and Damian Dawson did a great job on the left side. Zeke Jenkins came around and let up on the backer. There was a safety there. He made him miss, and then we ended up with a 50-yard run to open the second half. So even when there's a good box defensively, we still got to be able to run the football and give ourselves a chance on something like that, because you're not going to get a best look every time you want. Sometimes you got to say, we're running the football, let's go. And that's what we did. So we got some production out of that. We want more. We just want to keep growing it and getting better from that aspect. No, we had planned on getting him in, but the flow of the game was we were running the football. I think we had 48 runs, or 46 or 48 called runs, right? So, that's hard on a running back to be able to carry the ball that many times. So you want to space it out in between some of those guys. So when he got in there, he kind of got rolling, got loose, got the juices loose. One of those days, got oiled up a little bit, and then he kept on going. So we kind of kept going. We had to watch him, obviously. From a stamina standpoint, but he kept going. He was doing a good job, so we kept him in there and let him get some more carries.
What are you seeing from these guys coming in this week? Offensively, what are they doing that could give you guys some problems?
Yeah, the bunch is in stacks. They do a good job at that. They're very efficient. They lead the conference in time of possession, so that means they're keeping the football. Now, they're about 2-to-1 pass-to-run ratio. So they live more in the passing world than they do in the run game. They're effective running the football, but they like to throw the football more. And so they're 2-to-1 pass-to-run ratio. They lead the conference in time of possession, and they're also second in the conference in defensively getting teams off the field on third down. So they're getting you off of the field early, and they're staying on the field a long time. So they're able to control the game that way. Well, we can't allow that to happen. We got to be able to control the game from that standpoint. So that's why they've been able to stay in games and win games, just based on those two statistics alone when you look at them.
Coach, under 10 penalties in this game, you got to be happy about that.
Yeah, but was it 9 or 8? I'm not. There's still some that we self-destruct. We did the same thing. We did some things that we're not going to do, and those guys aren't going to play, and they understand that. And that's why they didn't go back into the game. But when those things happen, they're going to come out and they're going to sit down over there and just have a chance to think about it. And it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter what position they play. They're just not going to play. And so yeah, we cutting back on some of those, I guess, but it's still not enough. I want more, and I want to do a better job, and I want to be more focused on some of the things that we're doing. I think we had a couple of penalties late because of fatigue. And that we got to fight through that. We got to be stronger mentally than to just give in to something like that. So was I happy? No, we got to get better than that. But it was better.
Defensively, what do you see Abilene doing? What are they scheming out of? And what do you see with
They're a 4-down team. They will play some man, but they're mostly zone. They do a good job mixing it up. A lot of interior pressures. There's some edge pressure stuff. In certain down distance situations. But like I said, they're Mike linebackers. The guy that's a player of the week this week, a physical. Their two linebackers inside are physical downhill players, big guys, thick guys, carry a punch when they come in there. So attacking them is going to be unique. We got to be able to cut those guys off, and then we got to get off on them. We got to come off football because they'll change the line of scrimmage just by the way they play. They're a physical football team. They remind me a lot of Central Arkansas, kind of the way they're how physical they are and the size. So it'll be a little bit different than what we've seen the last couple of weeks. Good. Awesome, guys. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it.